Hi, I'm Galina, and today I'm interviewing not one, but two entrepreneurs who are even married, Aaron and Jessica Ross. Aaron is the author of the bestseller Predictable Revenue, and Jessica works on Bond Girl Bootcamp for ladies and the Spy Girl High for teenage girls. We also have guest appearances of the baby, a nanny, a dog, and a cat. Enjoy the interview, and I'll see you in the comments below. It's so nice to see you. You're like Mr. and Mrs. Smith of entrepreneurial world. So, Aaron, you
Yeah.
had this crazy successful career in startups, and everybody wants to do that. It's so exciting. And you graduated from Stanford, and what what happened? You just quit it all of a sudden.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, I guess part of what happened was I realized that I just wasn't, I don't know, I wasn't feeling fulfilled. And it felt like there was something more to do. And that was in 2007. Yeah, so I remember I was at that venture capital firm, and I really felt like I could do anything. And I realized, wow, I didn't want to go do one of these technology companies or work in technology anymore. Just not that it felt boring, it just didn't feel like it mattered to me. And so that was, over several years after that, is what I've been sort of building my current business, figuring out what I wanted to do and how I wanted to do it. And I think I just stopped caring about what other people thought and focused on what did I want to do and what did I like to do.
That's when you started the Unique Genius program, right?
Yeah, and what's interesting is that I decided I didn't want to do technology anymore, and then I wanted to figure out what I wanted to do with my life, which led me partly to Unique Genius. And then I was like playing with that to see about creating a business around that, like Unique Genius coaching and so on. And I realized for like that kind of coaching business, it's really hard to make money out of. To make money, it takes time to build an authentic business coaching. 5 years, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 years. And to do it faster, a lot of people do it faster, but it's like not manipulative.
It gets sleazy. I'll just say
Yeah.
it gets sleazy.
People sell. There's in the online coaching world. There's lots of people who sell lots of stuff to people who don't need it, can't use it.
Mm-hmm.
And I just didn't feel good doing that, selling stuff to people who couldn't use it, didn't need it. And it's, in other words, it's hard. It's really hard to figure out how to create content that not only people want, but then it's usable, digestible to most of the people who buy it.
Sure.
Anyway, but make a long story short, I took the lessons from Unique Genius and then went back and built my sales consulting business, basically with the same principles. So I love what I do. I get paid to learn. I work 30 hours a week or so, 25, 30 a week, from home or wherever I want. I can spend a lot of family time. I'm about to make a lot of money doing it, or about to. And it's really fulfilling, and I get to help people doing it.
And you do it based on your book, Predictable Revenue, right?
Yeah. Okay. So it's a book for salespeople, like companies who have salespeople, and lots of people. It's a bestseller, and it's like by word of mouth. But what's interesting is, again, when I make money when the companies hire me to consult. So don't make a book.
So, but when you
I've raised a lot.
That's great.
I've raised my prices a lot the last couple of years.
Congratulations. Yeah, so I went to the website. It looks amazing. So when you were doing Unique Genius, you met Jessica, the Bond girl. Oh my God!
I did. That was 3 years.
Down there.
Yeah, 3 years ago.
Yeah, we're going to be married 2 years this week.
Yeah, Wednesday, 2-year
Wednesday.
anniversary.
Congratulations.
So I met her, what was it, 4 years ago?
Was it 4
2009?
years ago? It's 4 years
Actually
ago.
met you.
Yeah, 2009. Yeah.
So yeah, I was figuring out Unique Genius. Jess, she was figuring out what she wants. She was trying to work on, she tried a couple companies. Right when I met her, she was trying a company called Pop.
It was right before all the, I don't know if they have the Starbucks over there that have the lollipops with cake on them.
Oh,
You
yeah.
can have those over there. So I was starting that before Starbucks sold of them. And yeah, that didn't go very well.
And then you...
And it was just like a series of trying to figure out what I wanted. Yeah, so it's just like a series of different, like, oh, do I want to do this? I have this piece, you know, kind of in my file. I can do this. I could pull from here. And yeah, and it was fun to have Aaron throughout the entire process, you know, using his coaching skills and kind of working with him and building something. Oh, thank you.
So how did you come up with the idea of the blonde girl?
You know, I think there was a company called Stiletto Spy School. It's originally where I saw it. Kind of like a similar idea, but they weren't doing it to...
a little cheesy.
It was cheesy. Yeah, okay. Can I say that? Yeah, it's cheesy. It was like, you know, girls in high heels running around with feather boas, and it didn't feel very authentic or empowering to women when we're already so sexualized in media to begin with. And then I wanted it to be something more where women and girls could try on skills that they've maybe never tried before, whether it is shooting a gun, whether it is self-defense, and have it be tools that they may not use every day. I hope they're not out shooting a gun every day, but you know, they at least have handled one. They've tried it out. Maybe they're really good at it, and they had no idea. And until they were given the opportunity, they never would have known. So that's kind of where it all spun from. And then it's interesting how many people we were already connected with who did certain things, like who were gun people or helicopter people or stunt car driving people. So it really was created from like a grassroots kind of movement.
So
thank you. Aqua.
So what do girls at the Bond Girl usually do? Is it like a one-day retreat, right?
Yeah. It's a one-day retreat, and all the activities can vary depending upon what the girls sign up for. So you know what you're going in for when you sign up for that particular day. And it can vary from helicopter to self-defense to cooking to etiquette to poker to stunt cars. There's a wide variety. And you know what's interesting, while a lot of women have been interested in Bond Girl, signing up is a different story. When someone has to put their money where their mouth is, it's different. And I think one of the things about that, I found that I didn't, while I enjoy teaching women, I found something I enjoy even more, which is teaching younger girls, like ages 9 to 16, kind of those formative years where maybe we as girls went through some challenges and didn't have support. So I launched a subdivision of Bond Girl called Spy Girl High. And I actually, in truth, enjoy that more than dealing with the older women, because I think there's a lot of like all of us, there's ego involved a little bit with the older women, and they're a little more set in their ways, whereas the younger girls are willing just to go out and balls to the wall, excuse the expression, try it. So I think, in honesty, I'm phasing out Bond Girl because I'm having much more pleasure and fulfillment and success with Spy Girl High.
Girls having a good time.
Yeah. And
she's so cute.
And I think having daughters also helps, you know.
You have 3, right?
We have a older girl.
Yeah, 2 daughters.
2 daughters, and then 2 boys.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but we have a horde zoo.
I think I saw your daughter at the picture on the Spy Girl website.
Yeah, well, one of them is my daughter, and the other one's a good friend's daughter, who we
That's your parents' not.
We use in promotion scandalously because they are children and they'll do what we say. Kari thinks that's funny too.
You think that's funny?
So, I wanted to ask you how you guys, you know, two entrepreneurs living together under one roof. How does that feel?
How does it feel living as entrepreneurs under one roof?
It doesn't, the thing is, it doesn't really, you don't feel like entrepreneurs because it just feels, at least to me, I just feel like it's, I don't know,
Normal.
everyday living, normal.
It's normal.
Um,
He goes to work, and I do my thing, and it's kind of separate, and then we'll yell at each other during the day, like, hey, whether it's family related or business related, I need some advice, or can you look at this for me? Can you read this? And it's almost, at least for me, it's nice having someone you trust who's built in, who can look at stuff for you. Like,
yeah, I think it feels more different when we compare, let's say that Aurora is having a play date. And, it's like when we reminded of other parents can't spend all day, like take a day off to go to Disneyland. Or we're looking at, if we do a house exchange for a month in some other country.
Yeah, it's great.
We just moved into a big house, a big expensive house.
So the flexibility, I think, allows us to spend more time with the kids and get more accomplished because we both work from home. And if you're asking if we get at each other's throats,
yes.
No. No. It's an incredibly calm person. He's teaching me about patience. I can't vouch that I don't get on his nerves, but he doesn't get on mine.
So, one more question.
The thing is with all the kid stuff that, and Jess has put a lot of stuff on hold, like part-time, and I do, I've got like an assistant and associate, and I don't know.
We have a lot of built-in support. You surround yourself with people who want to support you and believe in what you're doing. It makes it so much easier.
Although it took a long time. It's taken years to find the people and get them trained. Yeah. I mean, I think I'm on my third assistant or fourth
assistant.
Yeah. And it's like the company with mine, we want to do is I want to make enough money to be comfortable and support the family while working 25, 30 hours a week. And also help, my employees and partners do the same. So it's sort of giving up the idea of people need to work a certain number of hours or certain times. And
are people getting
I'm
used to
excited.
this idea of not having to, just spend all the time at the work and?
There's lots of people that work from home. I mean, not in the office, but I think what's new is, I don't really know many other, I'm sure they're out there, but it's not as common yet, the idea that you might work half-time. Like for me, I like working in that 20 to 30 hours a week, and at least at this point. Because more than that, it burns me out, and less than that, then I feel like, it's been hard to do less than that while building a business. Because I've been doing the 25 hours a week for years, even before I was making much money. I've been stuck to that for several years. And I think the idea that you can work less, that more hours, the U.S. culture is about how many hours do you work. Mm-hmm. More is better. Yeah. And whether you're at home or at work, or office, it's new that idea you work from home, but you still work 60 hours a week from home. But the idea, I don't think it's not popular that you could, hey, why don't you work 25 hours a week or 30, be more productive, maybe think you take a little longer, but you get a much better quality result. That is not caught on yet. No. People don't really, not that we promote it. I think we're just setting the example, and at some point we'll write more about it. I'll write more about it.
Yeah.
But I asked my associate Alicia today. I go, hey, how's your workload? Because we've been getting busier and busier. We have lots. It took about almost 2 years, but now there's a lot more companies coming out to try to hire us for a lot more money. And just checking in because I don't want her to have to work too much. I want her which would lead to burnout. And I know if I work too much, I get burned out, or I lose my creativity. So.
Absolutely. So, how do you feel working from home? How do you set the boundaries? And because when you're at the same place for a long time, you kind of feel like it's so, you're at work all the time. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, for me, it's pretty simple. In fact, I don't have a dog. For a while I was going out to a shared office space 4 days a week, but not because of this. It really is because of the pets at home. I didn't have an office at home, and the pets. Like I have a cat that would just like want to plant itself on the computer, and dogs that would bark constantly because of garters and just.
Oh, here's a cat right now because we're at home.
Oh my God, that's so amazing.
Thank you.
Exactly.
Thank you, Mikey.
And now I just moved into this bigger house, and then actually I have an office for the first time. It's like a separate room. So the dogs will still bark with the gardeners, and they're locked away. Yeah, I can't hear them as much. So, and that's for like the work office.
And then we share, we share each other's calendars. We're always on each other's calendars. What are you doing when? Do you have time here? We can always check it quickly and input stuff if we need to do family stuff, which is incredibly helpful. We're pretty transparent when it comes to that stuff. Yeah.
And I know for me, the other, I try to do my work while the baby kids are at school. Generally, like roughly 9 to 3 every day. It's not fixed. Some days it's less, some days more. But I try to do all my work while they're at school, usually.
So it's possible.
So
I'm happy to hear that.
So we have a few loose boundaries.
How do you?
They don't feel like boundaries. It just feels like normal.
Yeah.
Like we just have learned to kind of live. That's just our flow.
I think it took for me, again, it's been like 6 years I've been sticking to this 25-ish hours of work a week. And it takes practice to set boundaries. And I'm not always perfect at it. And I try not to work at night. Like when I was single, it didn't matter as much if I worked at night or different times. But, again, having kids, it's it's pretty rare that I work at night much. More than doing it's email. Or even on weekends, maybe like a half hour here. If there's something like yesterday, there's a proposal I wanted to finish. So maybe a few bits and pieces, but.
And Jessica, how does it feel for you to work from home?
Great. Because I can get it in between a feeding, a nursing, and
especially because you had a horrible job before.
I had a horrible job. I did the 9 to 5 supporting a very unappreciative individual.
He's a shitbag.
Yeah. Oh. Good word. So it's great. So it's like I can still be a present parent, a good mom, and still do what I like to do. Now, mind you, I will say though, having a baby is different than having grown children who already take self-sufficient. So with the baby, it's been harder to kind of keep things fluid. But now that she's older and walking and a little more
and we got a
stable,
nanny.
and we have things are starting to ramp back up.
Okay.
So I love it though. I love being able to
adopt little Mav, and then the thing I appreciate about Jess is that at least in the U.S. there's lots of news. It's basically I think. Most of the media is like there's women who have babies, and it's like how fast can they get back to work, or how can they work a full-time career while having a baby?
And you can't. That's the answer. You can't.
Yeah, I mean, I appreciate like how my wife. I'm glad that she dialed it back and is basically putting our kids first. And I do this too. I mean, I can only work, but it's our family first and. Putting things on hold until there's a right time to ramp the business back up.
Thanks, honey.
Aww. So So good.
I sort of missed.
So I read that couples need to. I read somewhere that couples need to spend like at least 8 hours of time per week together. Without kids, without friends. Just. Did you manage to do that?
You know what? Our retreat up until we moved a week ago, our ritual up until we moved a week ago was after we put the kids to bed, we'd have dinner together. Usually, we picnic on our floor because we don't own a TV. We got rid of it. And we would set up Aaron's giant computer in the living room.
I have a new iMac, big one.
And we'd watch Game of Thrones. Like, that was our big thing.
And eat Indian food on the floor.
And we'd have a picnic on the floor and watch our show and then talk about it and snuggle and do whatever else we want to do. And that was like our time. And it was good. And we do have occasional afternoons free that we block out time together.
Yeah, it's probably been more like four hours.
Probably been like 4 hours a week lately.
I mean, so yeah, we want more. We've been taking steps, but having a baby and moving and other stuff is, and we're adapting as we go.
Yeah, but we still find time throughout the day just to like send random funny text messages or emails. So we keep in touch with each other off the business side, just letting each other know we love you and we're thinking about you.
We have a lot of inside jokes.
We have a lot of inside jokes that keeps it strong.
We try to roast each other. I'm not going to give you examples.
Okay, no examples.
We do. Try to do like what's the grossest text message you can.
Oh God, it's bad.
It gets pretty rough.
It gets rough over here.
And she starts sending pictures.
Oh, I went for the visual.
Google image search is not that's bad.
But those are like our little things that, I think if you don't have those things between you in the relationship, then you're missing something anyway.
Yeah.
So, 8 hours or not. So, yeah.
Thank you so much, guys. Don't want to keep you any longer. Just the last question. So there are a lot of people trying to do something online now, right? So either coaching or, books and just, in not tangible products, right? So how do you explain what you do to people who don't really understand what you're doing, when you sell stuff like that or when you position yourself?
Let me grab her. You guys go ahead and chat. I'm going to grab her. Oh, yeah. I'm going to grab her.
In terms of advice to those people who are trying to do the products, or?
Yes.
So, like, how can they
position themselves? How can they explain that to their friends and family, their clients? I don't know.
Well, one tip for that is, people don't care about what you do; they care about what you can do for them.
Okay.
So instead of if you're trying to figure out how to explain yourself, think about if someone asks you, "How do you help people?" What do you come up with? But I find like a bigger problem with the online coaching and teaching and world is that there's a couple of things. So first, the biggest problem is that all this stuff it's really hard to make a real business out of it that you can support yourself with. It takes several years to do it in a way which is sustainable. It's like to make enough money to be comfortable in a way that's sustainable and authentic. A way that feels good takes, let's just say, 5 years. I'm just gonna pick a number. And a lot of people they quit their job and they try to support themselves with selling ebooks, and they can't. And so they end up, there's just way too much financial desperation in this industry. Where most people, coaching should be a sideline, it should be a side business to let it grow over time, rather than something that you jump into it and do it full time. And I think that's why there's so much bullshit in the online, especially like the online coaching, internet marketing world, because there's so many people trying to take a half-baked business and sell it to people and make enough money to survive. They're just desperate. So people first need to do is get a day job, or either have a day job, keep a day job, get a day job. Focus, and a lot of people quit too early. They don't take responsibility to figure out how to make their own work interesting. And you need some way to pay the bills, and then you sort of work on your side business ideas on the side for as long as it takes to grow it.
So there are too many kind of overnight success stories there, right? They're not.
There's too few, but yeah, there's too many wannabe overnight successes. You think, okay, 90 days, 106 months, a year. It's probably more like 5 years to do it. And there's lots of overnight successes that, like, coaches will say, hey, this guy made $100,000 in one weekend. Okay, it happened one time. But what about the next year and the next year? It's really hard to build a sustainable business. And that's the part that people, no one tells you that. No one tells you that. They're not honest because they're just trying to sell you their stuff. They're trying to sell you the dream, not trying to help you. So there's too much focus on how to sell, and there's 98% of the attention is on how to sell stuff, and 2% is on how to make your customers successful for real.
What is your experience with that, Jessica?
In terms of making people successful?
In terms of, I don't know, reading or stuff like that, or buying the programs,
I don't think I have the same kind of issue. It's like people know what they're getting. This is what I do. This is what we're doing. You sign up for it or you don't. I think people get a little more than what they bargained for in terms of the camaraderie. And
you talk about her programs?
You talk about my programs, right? Is that what you're asking me? Or are you asking me about, like,
No, I'm asking about your experience when you were on the other side as a client,
Oh, okay. Well, I never paid Aaron for his services, but when I would go to various events or kind of be in the circles of seeing these people who I kind of saw the behind the scenes, so I got to see people who, desperate's a really good word, they were just trying to pay their bills. And there's this like sense of, how can I just get you to purchase this? I don't care how I have to make it happen. I just need you to have it. Just get it. God's gonna love you for it. You're gonna be more beautiful. You will get the man you want. Like
the business you want. Sell.
It's close. Inundating. And at the beginning, it was somewhat interesting. It was like, oh, this is a whole new kind of, animal.
Yeah.
It's a breed, and it sounds really good, right? You want this stuff, but
you just make, you sell ebooks or
after a while, you see it, you're going, God, none of this is real. It's like facade, Hollywood magic.
A lot of bullshit. I mean, it's funny, especially in the coaching world. It prides itself on trying to teach people to be authentic. It's like one of the most inauthentic
businesses I've ever seen.
Yeah, and there's always exceptions, but
sure.
I think it's all driven by that. People don't realize how long it really takes. The truth is, it takes years. And they think they can do it faster, and they get desperate, and then they get needy, and then they
whatever. It's like a fight or flight. It's like a survival mode kicks in, which it's understandable. It's just, is that really what you want for you, and do you want to buy that?
Yeah, and they can't step back and say, should this person really buy this?
Is it good for them?
And they can't think that way, and they can come up with these ideas like people know what they're getting into, and I don't know, there's all a bunch of
justification.
A lot of justification.
No.
So, are there people that you kind of believe that they're coming from the right place, and they're ethical?
Yeah, they're here in LA. I've met like a small number. We went to a party with probably 200.
Yeah, maybe.
It was just like a lot of the big names, and like Cynthia Kersey, Jack, the Chicken Soup for the Soul guy. There's a bunch of like the big internet marketing, coaching, spiritual
community.
And there's, let's say out of 200 people, there's like maybe one. I mean, there's one person I know that
there's probably like a table full. Give it 5.
Yeah,
Give 5.
Let's say 5%, maybe 2, 3, 4, 5% at the most.
Because there's a lot of people who want to be the overnight success or want to have this success, and then there's the people who will kiss ass too. There's a lot of kiss assing going on in this community in terms of like internet marketing.
Yeah.
Oh, I want to be just like you, or you are somebody, so therefore I'm your friend, and we hang out. And
I call it social sycophantia.
oh,
Well, guys, it was so great talking to you. I had no idea you were so cool.
Me neither.
are we cool? Hey,
With like animals walking. I just love that. Okay.
babies everywhere.
Yeah, here's the other one.
Here's our dog, one of our dogs.
That was the interview with Erin and Jessica Ross. Did you like it? Please share it with your friends. And don't forget to leave a comment below. I'm Galina. Thank you for watching.